On Tuesday of this week, Arkansas Farm Bureau's commodity staff was advising producers this week might be a good place to start pricing some beans for 2015 if you haven't already. Extension Ag economist John Michael Riley says this month's USDA projections did catch some grain traders off guard. John Michael, any real surprises out of the supply-demand report?
There were. We've been trending toward a market expectation of more grain available. That was built into the expectations leading into this report, both for corn ending stocks and soybean ending stocks, and we got a little bit of a surprise when both of those were pulled down. About 50 million bushels of corn taken out of the ending stock number compared to the previous month. The ending stock number for soybeans was lowered as well, and both of those were lower than expected. So it was a bit of a surprise. So and as a result, you know, the market you would expect to increase. We ended the day slightly lower, but a lot of volatility once the report was released. But overall, the market just brushed the domestic numbers off, largely because we did see an increase in world ending stocks for both corn and beans, and that really is what the market now keys in on, what happens from a global perspective, because it is a global marketplace nowadays.
It seems like, as far as corn, that maybe a little stability has come into the market, maybe since that report, or would you still say we're in that volatile period?
Well, if you look at coming off of harvest, you know, we crashed throughout most of the growing season last year. Coming in the midst of harvest, started to increase our overall price, largely because it looks like producers are just holding the grain, and so both corn and beans. So we did see a bit of an increase in the midst of harvest, which we typically don't see. But yes, since then it's stabled off. We've stayed in a pretty tight range of prices for both corn and soybeans up until the last couple of days with soybeans. But for the most part, much more stability than what we saw in the growing season last year.
And of course, I guess both beans and certainly corn trying to make sure they buy some acres here as we approach planting time, right?
That's true. We're in the market of buying acres, and cotton's obviously trying to do what it can on certain days. But overall, there's not a clear winner yet in terms of the acres decision. And not surprisingly, we've built up our stocks with both of these crops, and farmers are really going to have to make a hard choice when they look at their planting decisions for this upcoming year.
And would you say the projection as far as soybean plant acres that is going to come about? I mean, an increase that they're talking about? It
is, you know, especially as I poll producers here in this state, I think there is a bit of a lean toward soybeans. Nationally, the acres decision is going to weigh pretty heavily still, though. It's uncertain.
And I guess cotton is going to be the loser maybe when it comes to increased bean acres.
Where price is at now, most likely, but again, rotations are probably going to dictate this, not price this year.